Um, we should be wary, I think, what we deem to be morality. Some big chunk of what is happening right now in the world is the historical losers, the colonized, who are the losers only in the sense that many of their lives were lost. It turns out these peoples have a much healthier and useful take on life and their place in the scheme of things than colonizers. But what is happening to them? This community or collections of communities have finally said, basta, hang on a minute. The colonizers, you know who you are, cunningly invented long ago in response to intimations of this present reaction. It's long been foreseen, foretold, forebodden. In response, they have created morality, a set of rules to be obeyed by the ruled, but having no sway in the various Versailles around the world. Not just Trump and his shenanigans come to mind, though that's definitely. What hits me full force is that the Constitution, capital C, allows such a creature to remain in the political running. It may even be this Constitution is constituted the only way it could be in a colonial culture. It applies different rules to the powerful, wealthy, and famous than to the rest. Now, this was true also of feudalism, just before colonialism. But it passed, it elided from one to the other, unseen, unchecked, to the rest within and to the rest of the world. This is a pigsty of great stink and depth, not really necessary to get into right now. The people who should heed it are incapable. They are completely wedded to a corrupt document created with corrupt intent, made habitual by religions of the book, that one must consult whenever genuine critical thinking threatens, always for an answer. In fact, some religions we know which will insist your own instincts, critical thinkings, are wrong, satanic. Quote, look at the book. Do look at Deuteronomy. The morality writ here says that you must kill those who do not worship your God, not just preemptively, because they mean you harm, but because to not obey the command to kill them makes you impious, is actually a betrayal. Read it. It's right there. This type of gobbledygook morphs eventually into hideousness. The old colonials know they have misbehaved. A white American 60-something chap can babble on about the Israeli claim to Israel, their rights, and the unrighteous challenge that Hamas makes when they claim Israel has no right to exist. Mr. Man lives in a land he has no right to, that his ancestors stole from an original population. He lives in America. He is blind, therefore, and his whole demeanor on the subject, his easy notion that therefore genocide is self-defense, is ludicrous. And actually true. If you're a thief, you must defend your theft and thievery. It is yourself. This would be the white European American position on Israel. The self is invented, it's not real, and they know it, and it makes them righteous, not right. Religion achieves exactly this over and over. Righteousness and its attendant noise, its anthems, hymns, prayers, pledges, and the constitutions is the emperor's new clothes of virtue. Assume a virtue, quote, if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature, says Hamlet to his mum, who has committed adultery. Almost change the stamp of nature, almost, but it can't. Thieves remain thieves, no matter how many medals they wear. They just invent myths to transform their thievery into rights. MI5 and MI6 had a lot of spies digging into the IRA back in the day, not so long ago, trying to determine the terrorist plots. It seems they did not wonder why the IRA did what it did. They knew why. and said it was wrong, and it was. They knew the grievance as legit, that they, the Brits, had committed many an atrocity to maintain control of their Catholic cousins, but they threw their book at them, claiming they were immoral for doing unto others what had been done unto them. What might have happened, we'll never know. Another way would have been possible in the criminal moral world we have invented. To say again, call a meeting of the 5 families, this war stops now. We haven't matched the fictional choice of the mafioso. We are still only vengeful pigeons. For me, it is impossible to conceive of humans not having cause for what they do personally and collectively, some more forgivable than others. I do not do what Churchill does. I have no evidence of the morally superior, inferior. I see only cause and effect, and it astonishes me every day that this is not how most people operate, that we seem to imagine ourselves superior in thought and action despite all the evidence, and now think the claim of a superiority is direct evidence of its opposite. One can make these mistakes on some small levels which sweat and grow and become tumorous. Years ago, I met with the director of television for an important role. We chatted for half an hour, an eternity in my game. I thought that went well and went home. My agent called and asked me, alarmed, what I had said to him. He was very upset and would rather die than have me in his TV show. I tried to remember. I said I thought the script was awesome, especially for television. My agent immediately said, She said this man had come up in the 60s with a bunch of now famous English film directors, but he had got stuck in television. He was very sensitive on this point about his perceived failure. I thought, what? I didn't mean it like that. What was I to know? How was I to know? I was complimenting him and the project, etc., etc. I was young, starting out, very pretty, flush with some recent success, and in the human condition, all this made this man not like me at all. Well, folk, fair enough, it happens. This man was a self-persecutor, maybe, but I might have known. Had I, or people like me, raped his sisters, killed his father, evicted his grandparents, I should really be cognizant of all this, should he do me the injustice he did. It was a mind of vengeance. If he massacred 1,200 of my countrymen and women, I should acknowledge, while not giving a pass, that he was motivated by an injustice. The backdoor, colonially perfected, monotheistically reinforced cowardice of telling myself and the world this man is a devil just don't cut it. And that the only audience receptive to my lie, our fellow colonialists, is blatant and obviously and criminal. Obvious and criminal, not moral. So don't bend my ear with this particular vintage white wine.